Now, if you're feeling a little down in the dumps, working on your downward-facing dog could help. Scientists in America say the results of a study show a weekly yoga session can help relieve the symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. From Washington, I'm joined now by Nina Vollbehr, who's carried out one study. Nina, you've spent a lot of time looking at this. What did you find?
So what we've found so far is that yoga is able to reduce symptoms of depression and stress. We did an intervention with undergraduate students that had mild symptoms of depression. And we saw that after a 30-minute intervention and 8 days of home practice of 50 minutes a day, they had 2 months later very much decrease in symptoms of depression and stress compared to another group of students that did a relaxation intervention.
How would they have tallied up, do you think, if you'd also looked at people who had gone to counselling for that same period of time and were also showing mild symptoms of depression?
So we also did another study with people that were already doing counselling and also using medication. It was chronically depressed patients. So we added a yoga intervention to their treatment regime, and we saw that after 9 weeks of training, they also had a serious decrease in symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. So we added yoga as a treatment for them.
Okay, Nina, what is it about yoga that's helping these people?
So what we believe is yoga has this unique combination. It's a combination of exercise, like we're making people move, and we know that exercise is effective in depression. And then also it has this mindful awareness, and we also know that mindfulness is effective in reducing depression. So this unique combination might add something that is important for people that are suffering from depression.
So is it the exercise that is key to the differentiation between yoga and just relaxing or being mindful?
Well, I think it has different components and different aspects. What we did see was that a yoga intervention was more effective than a relaxation intervention. So it means that yoga is more than just relaxation. So yes, it adds exercise, it adds movement, but it combines this movement with the mindful awareness. So it offers people immediate practice of mindful awareness.
So is it any type of yoga, and how much yoga do you actually have to do to see any sort of benefit?
Well, that's a very good question, and I'm afraid we do not have enough information to answer that completely. So what we study is hatha yoga, but there's many different forms of yoga. And there's been done a few studies so far that show promise, but it's too early to say what type of yoga works best or how often people should practice. I think there's a study that shows that people should at least practice once or twice a week to have an effect.
Do you think one of the things perhaps is that people have a stigma, or there is a stigma attached to going and seeing a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and people find it's easier to go and have a yoga session?
You're right. I'm afraid that is still the case for a lot of mental health issues, and I think for a lot of people, yoga might seem like a good option. Now, what we see from surveys is that people are already using yoga to help deal with symptoms of depression or anxiety or stress. And so I think there's quite a couple of people that make that decision and choose to do yoga.
Did the people show signs of anxiety during the study, and did those signs of anxiety, did the anxiety actually lessen during that study?
So in our studies, what we saw in the undergraduates was that the anxiety lessened a little bit, but it was not significant. But for the patients, what we saw in this, it was a pilot study, it was just a small group, but what we saw is they reported less anxiety right after the intervention, after 9 weeks, but also 4 months later, they still reported less anxiety.
So Nina, would you tell someone, a depressed person, rather go and start yoga, do yoga over counselling?
I would not do that. No, I think the evidence-based treatments that we have, which are, of course, medication and psychotherapy, are important, and they help a lot of people. But I also do believe that yoga holds promise to add something to it, so that we might even be able to help more people.
Okay, Nina, thanks so much. Nina Vollbehr there from Washington. You're watching Sky.